My name is Mr. Dexter, Ryan Dexter, and I'm the grade 5 through 8 band director. While these guys are just finishing up behind me, I thought I'd take the opportunity to welcome you and share my excitement and enthusiasm for this evening's performance. This is always one of my favorite concerts of the year. This is this group's very first concert together, hopefully the first of many to come. And I'm sure you're going to be impressed by all the progress that they've made this year. One brief announcement, and this is an important cause. The Lowell Mason Foundation is set up in the hallway this evening. If you don't know who Lowell Mason is, he's actually the founder of music education in public schools. He started out by instilling a music program in Boston public schools. And if it weren't for him, who knows, we may not be here tonight. And if you didn't know, he's actually born in Medfield. Maybe you've heard in the news there was a big project where they had to move his house and avoid it being destroyed. And the Lowell Mason Foundation and other organizations came together and were able to save the house. So they're here tonight. They're selling some really nice looking posters at the back, and $5 of your donation goes to actually the Medfield Music Association, which goes right back to your children in the form of music scholarships and clinicians and everything else that the MMA does for the music program. So please consider that and visit the booth outside on your way out. Thanks. So, I think we're ready to go. You guys ready? All right. So, we're going to start the concert with a song called Cross Buns. This is the first song that we learned. I'm sure you've heard it just a few times at home. And we are going to feature throughout the evening different sections of the band. So you get to hear your child's instrument. The first section we're going to feature is the trombone section. So this is Cross Buns. Educated listeners and watchers tonight and share some of the things that we've been working on in class. The very first thing we talk about, and this is, even before we picked up their instruments back in rental night, we had a couple of meetings before they got their instruments. We talked about posture. So one thing that's really obvious from where you're sitting is, are the children sitting with good posture? Are they sitting on the edge of their seats? Are they holding their instruments up properly and holding them correctly and all those things? Okay, it directly affects their breathing, which air is huge when it comes to playing a wind instrument. I tell the kids all the time that we are athletes. Musicians are athletes. We just use different muscles. It's a very physical thing. It's, of course, a very emotional and mental thing as well. So you can be looking for their posture and those things throughout tonight's performance. Also not a bad idea to take a look at home when they're practicing. So we're going to continue with Au Clair de la Lune, and this is going to feature the flutes. Thank you. Thank you. solos, because we've got a lot of them tonight. And it's probably even more than I usually do. I don't know, we had a lot of interest in solos this year, and we've got a lot of terrific talent in the band. So we have to backtrack a bit and feature one of our trombonists. This is going to be Jack Shirtliff playing Merrily Roll On. Getting up to that high F is actually no easy task. That takes a lot of air. It's like at the end of the phrase when you're just starting to run out of air and you got it out really nicely. So that's a really good job. Okay, we're going to feature a few flutists. The first of which will be Hannah Lay playing Skip It Lou. Flute solo is going to be played by Samantha Drum, and she is going to play Twinkle Twinkle. One of the extra things that Sam had to do on that was she actually had to figure out half the notes by ear. The book only gave you some of them, so that's a pretty cool thing. Okay, we have another flute solo. This is going to be Kathleen Mulready playing The Little Fish. Next we have Lily Branca playing Jim Along Josie. Flute soloist is Riley Mullick, and she's going to play Frere Jacques. Now, flute is actually one of the more challenging instruments in the band to start off on. It really is. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is the embouchure. Okay, half of your air is actually not going into the flute. Half is going in, half is going out. The other thing is a motor skill issue where instead of having everything right in front of you, say like a recorder or a clarinet or a saxophone, you're over here. Okay, your body doesn't really like that. So it's a real challenge for them to get the coordination and to develop the muscle memory necessary to do what they did. And after 3 months and they have that kind of finger dexterity, that's pretty impressive. I couldn't really say no to any of those solos, so they did a great job. Okay, next section we're going to feature is the trumpet section, and this is a song called Down by the Station. Okay, we have several trumpet solos, and the first is going to be played by Drew Baki. Excellent job, Drew. Excellent job. Okay, we're going to move on to another soloist, and it's going to be Dylan Brunelli on trumpet. Our next soloist is Lucas Kyra. The thing with trumpet, of course, or any brass instrument, is if you go like a day without playing it, you lose your chops. It's something that you've got to play, you know, constantly to keep your chops up. When you go back to it after a few days of not playing, it doesn't feel very good. So there's a definite strength and, you know, muscle issue there, and these guys are doing very, very well. Okay, our next soloist from the trumpet section is going to be Timothy Keene. And the other thing is, you know, trumpet is a very ear-based instrument to start off on. They can get any number of different pitches. They only have 3 keys. They only have 3 valves. So, you know, they can get many different pitches on those 3 valves. So they really have to, it's much about ear training as it is about, you know, note reading and getting the right fingers down and those kinds of things. So that's the other challenge with that. I think we have one more trumpet solo, and this is Derek Stevens. Okay, we're next going to feature our percussion section playing bells on a song called Merrily We Roll Along. just so you know, we are actually in snare drum mode right now. At the beginning of the year, for the first 6 to 8 weeks, we do bells, and then we kind of focus more on snare drum techniques. So we haven't really, played bells a whole lot this past month, so they did a pretty good job. Bells is really, really difficult, and it's the issue of not looking down, right? You have to keep your eyes on the music and not look down, which, if you think about it, you gotta make sure you're hitting the right keys. That's really the challenge there. But so they're doing pretty good with that. We're going to feature a couple of snare players in a little bit, but right now the percussion section is going to switch over to their drum pads. While they're doing that, I'm going to ask for some audience participation. And I'm going to show you an exercise that we do every Friday afternoon. And we're going to demonstrate it for you, and then I'm going to see if you can do it. And this is a silent count exercise that we do that's used for developing internal steady beat. You guys remember this? Okay. So it goes something, so what I'm going to do is when I have my hands up, they're going to count out loud to 8 over and over again. And when I put my palms down, they're going to continue counting, but silently in their head. And they cannot move. They cannot show the beat in their body anywhere. So they're literally just internalizing it, not moving. And then when I put my hands back up, they should come back in all on the same beat if they were all internalizing it at the same pace. So let's see, we haven't done this in a while. Let's see how they do. I'm actually really surprised it went that well. You got every one. That was really pretty impressive. Okay, your turn.
So palms up, you count out loud, right? In eights, and then can't move. Don't move. You can't get the feet away. I put my palms down. Okay, ready? Here we go. Ready? Parents, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe.
Okay, that wasn't really fair. Sorry. Okay, thank you for that. The next thing I want to show you is something that's not in the book. This is kind of a special curriculum that's actually it was a free curriculum that I found online that was being created out at the University of Texas at Austin, and it's a really cool thing because it gets the kids doing some things that they should be doing that the book doesn't have them do, and I'll talk about those. So there's a 4-step process to this that the kids go through. It involves them conducting and keeping a beat in their body while saying rhythms, playing rhythms on the instrument, naming notes, and then finally putting all of that together and playing those rhythms. It only involves 2 notes, but what it does is they're playing much more advanced rhythms. The songs you're hearing tonight are all just quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. This gets them playing 1/8 notes, which are twice as fast. And it also gets some of the kids using their right hand, which if we just went by the book, they would be doing this for 3 months. And their right hand is doing what? Developing all kinds of bad, hand positions. So there's some really good things to it. So anyway, we're going to do a song called Breathing Easy, and we're just going to conduct and say the rhythm on do, which is the first step. Several songs, but in the interest of time, I just want to show you one more because it's really a neat thing. They're playing in 6/8 time, which usually we don't introduce 6/8 time signature until much later in their curriculum. But the reason why 6/8 time is difficult is because everything's grouped in 3s, and we've got them playing, in 2 beats a measure and 4 beats a measure, where everything is grouped in 2s. So if they do that for 2 years, of course it's going to be difficult and weird when they go to try to group things in 3. So we get them grouping things in 3 right away. So this is a song called The Breathing Room. Breathing Room in 6/8 time. Rest, but you probably heard me saying rest, right? That helps them, of course. So when I don't say rest, and they're still feeling the 2 beats and able to, no one played on it, that's pretty good. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Okay, moving right along. We're going to go to a piece called Lightly Row. And this is a song that's a two-part song, a first two-part song, so listen for the harmony. Okay, next we're going to feature the clarinets on Good King Wenceslas. Okay, a few clarinet solos. The first is Genevieve Bruceland. After years of doing this, squeaks don't bother me. It's like I don't even hear them anymore. It's just part of it, you know. When you're starting to play clarinet, if you don't cover a hole by like that much, you're gonna get a squeak. And it's you know, their hands are how big, so it's just gonna happen. She did a great job, great job. And now for a few more squeaks, Karina Christo. Our next soloist is Abigail Glynn. next is Emma Keating. Next soloist is Jordan McLean. Next up, Mr. Derek Smith. And our final clarinet soloist is Cameron Sullivan. Okay, next we're going to feature the saxophone section, and at this time I would like to introduce Miss Jen O'Shea. She's been student teacher with me this semester. She is a clarinet major at the Berklee School of Music, who's about to go off and pursue a career in teaching music, and she's been wonderful to have around. She's been a huge help, and without further ado, Miss O'Shea. Okay, just a few saxophone solos. The first one is Caitlin Ario. is Matthew Barrett. And our next soloist is Ben Kervin. And one more alto solo, and this is Bruce Salisbury. And we have a holiday song for you, Jolly Old St. Nicholas. This is another two-part song in harmony. Before we play our last piece, just a couple of thank yous. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Schneider for being here tonight and for all of her support this year. As well as Doug Olson, our Director of Music. And just one last reminder to check out the Lowell Mason Foundation booth on your way out. And on a personal note, I'd like to thank all of you for your support in your child's music education. You know, it's something that, you know, they don't need to get into college, it's not on the MCAS test, but it's so valuable. And you know, they oftentimes at this age are going to take whatever the newest, coolest thing is, and it's, you know, not always, you know, finding 20 minutes of time, you know, out of their day to take an instrument out of the case and work at something like that. So that's where you come in, and your encouragement, of course, and so I thank you for your support, and I hope your children stay in the band program for many years to come. We've got a terrific program. Please go to the websites and check out the middle school and high school programs. You'll get a glimpse of them at the Bandorama, which is coming up in the spring, where you get to hear your children, the middle school bands and the high school bands. So thank you, and this is a tough one. This is Mickey Mouse. This is our first full band arrangement with independent parts, so we're going to give it a try. very excitable bunch they are. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great evening.
Production support provided by Medfield.tv. Access to our community.